Hey guys, it's Mike on All in Our Heads podcast. Really do appreciate you guys tuning in, and we appreciate all your listens.
The hell kind of shit energy is this?
I'm trying something different.
I don't know.
Listen, guys, thanks for tuning in to All in Our Heads. We really do appreciate all your downloads, all your shares, and if you continue to do if you like the show, just share it with your friends. That's really all we can say, I think, is if you like the show, please share it with your friends.
That's it.
All right? Where should they listen? Where's the best way to get it?
For the iPhone, use the Laughable.com app. Go to Laughable.com/download to download the app for iPhone. You can subscribe to our podcast as well as our individual pages where you can listen to other podcasts we've been guests on. It's a great podcast for comedians. It's not available yet for Android. So on Android or iPhone, we like you to use the iHeartRadio app. Word. So today was a good podcast. We talked about Mike's struggles with his finances and whether he should go on cruise ships. We discussed that a little bit. We discussed some Better Call Saul, some TV shows we watched. It was a good podcast.
Yeah. Good podcast.
Yeah. It's
something else in there, but I don't remember. Just listen.
It's what we usually do, people. If you're fans of us, you like this shit. It's
what we do. We do what we do.
We do what we do. And that's what we did.
Exactly.
Check it out.
You're listening to All in Our Heads with Joe Fernandez and Mike Gaffney. Please enjoy the show.
Yo. What the hell's that yelling?
Yo, you podcasting?
I was just not saying anything.
Oh. Why?
Was that TV on or something?
The TV, I had to put it on mute. I had to shut the air conditioner off.
Oh, because a lot of stuff was happening in the noise background there, so I was just like, I want to probably get rid of that anyhow, so.
All right. What's up?
Figured maybe. Nothing. What's up with you?
Nothing. Podcasting.
Yeah. We're podcasting.
You don't sound in the mood to podcast. You don't really sound in a... Should we do this tomorrow?
In the mood to breathe.
You're not in the mood to breathe?
No.
That could be troublesome on this earth. I don't know on any other planet, but it's probably the prime thing we need to do here. To get anything done, you got to start with that.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know. It's still out for debate.
It is fucking weird, though, the whole breathing thing. Like, there's just oxygen. Like, we need this shit we can't see. And you're just you're just doing it. You're like, what?
Is it there? I guess it's there.
Like, there could be. Is there ever going to be the end of that? Like,
yeah, we don't know. You can't see, like, where we're out on fuel. With that, there's no tank.
I guess plants and trees and shit.
Yeah. And there you go. Science.
No, but I've made myself hyperventilate thinking about breathing.
I know you could. If anyone on the planet could panic over enough oxygen on planet Earth, it would be you.
No, it's just it's like the thought of it, and just same thing when I think like an organ's gonna shut down, I start feeling my organs.
Yeah.
You start feeling your heart pump. You feel like your liver's moving.
That's how it shows you how powerful the mind is. How you can make someone a hypochondriac can make themselves sick.
Yeah.
If they think hard enough about it, they will become sick.
Oh yeah.
So you think about your liver.
Not my liver per se.
Yeah,
but if I think a body part is hurting.
Think about the liver for a second. Just think about your liver.
Like what was it? They're talking about pancreatic cancer on the news one time.
Right.
And there's no cure for that. You're dead.
No.
And I told my wife
where it is located, but most of the time it's dead.
You're pretty dead.
Yeah, if the tumor's like almost visible, like if they can get at it and attack it with chemo, you have it. That's the only way you have a shot. But most of the time, it's not.
Well, I was sitting there and I'm watching it, and I go to my wife. I'm like, my ass hurts. Is it in your ass? She's like, no, it's not in your ass. You ass. That's what she said from the couch. But it's like, no matter if they have a body part that says like cancer, you're definitely dead on TV, my ass hurts. Like, I always feel like it's near my asshole. Like, my ass starts throbbing. I'm like, oh no, I got it. It's the weirdest mental thing that, like,
it's amazing how all your diseases are dormant until you see a commercial for it, and then you have it.
Because you just live in life, you're unaware.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when my wife got diagnosed with cancer, she just thought she was really exhausted.
Right.
She's like, I'm so tired.
But she had cancer, and she didn't see an ad for cancer, and then got cancer.
Right, yeah. No, I never got cancer. I never got anything I have.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, though, when you start seeing symptoms, you're like, I kind of have shit like that. I feel like that sometimes.
You just shouldn't watch anything medical. I don't know why you do.
I live with a fucking nurse who watches everything medical.
Go in another room.
I try, but I can walk into the living room, which is open to my kitchen, and I can hear something, and then now I'm back in my room having a heart attack. The one night I was on the floor panicking. I'm like, I think this is the one. I think I'm having it. And she's like, just calm down. It's the anxiety. I'm like, just don't go to sleep yet. Don't go to sleep yet. And I laid on the floor, and I was like, She's like, you all right? I'm like, I don't know, man. You better get the phone ready. And then she's like, I think you're all right. And then I wound up being all right.
I did that one time with my son. I'm like, I just was panicking, and I was like, just anxiety, just a lot going on, man. I felt like my chest was going to blow up, and I was like, son, just if I'm going to fall asleep, if you can just watch me for a while, I'll make sure I don't struggle in my sleep. He's like, seriously? You think you're going to have a heart attack right next to me? I'm like, well, just pay attention. He's like, how about we just go to the hospital? I'm not watching you all night if you think you're about to die of a heart attack.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So what was your problem? No, you started off about ready to say.
I'm just not in a good, just not a good space. It's just not in a good space. It's just, I can put a smile on and try to forge ahead, but the truth of the matter is that I am so, and I don't want to. I am so financially in trouble that it's hard to ignore it, and I'm not trying to ignore it. I'm actually, trying to get. I have one little shit job, and I interviewed 2 times already for this other, a little better than a shit job. I mean, they're both combined. They'll give me 30 hours a week. But I haven't started getting that yet, and even after it's all said and done, I'm only going to be getting $400 a week. So I need money today. Like, yes, I'm working to try to get out of this hole, but even when I start really getting it in, I'm going to be so much in the hole that it's going to take 3 months of these part-time jobs to get out of the hole. And I see it and I'm like, I don't want to go further in the hole, but I just can't avoid it.
Yeah.
And it's the anxiety is killing me. And it's like, I'm trying to ignore it, but I get numb. My hands get numb. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, it's just, there's no money. I have no gigs this week. I have no gigs this weekend. I have nothing until July 6th and 7th or 7th and 8th, whatever weekend that is. And I get a paycheck from the job, the one part-time job this Friday. But it's going to be shit money. It's like $100, maybe $150. It's not like I'm killing it. So it's just a struggle. And I'm looking for something more with more money, more, 30 hours a week, but maybe from one company give me 30 hours a week. But it's hard, man. It's just not easy.
Wow.
It's not easy. And I'm just stressing. And I got Vegas is August 7th through the 14th, and I haven't even bought those tickets, and I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I don't have it at all. Like, not even like, yeah, like 100 of it. None of it. None of it.
Wow.
And like every time I go on to Vegas or LA or anywhere on the West Coast, I'm able to find really cheap tickets. I'm just really good at it. Mm-hmm. So when I got this gig 3 months ago, I went online, and the tickets from 3 months ago were the cheapest I found were just under $500. I was like, what the fuck? I was getting for $300. $350. I'm like, fuck the gig. I don't want to spend $500 to get to a gig. Then I'm only making it'll be like making $700 for the week. I didn't want that. So I've been like holding off.
Right.
Even so, but the cheapest I found the other day, I went on just to look. I don't have no money to buy it, but I just wanted to see where it was at. And it was like, I think I found a round trip was like $380 or something like that. And I was like, That's where I could be there, but that's still. But I don't have that money. That's not even the point. The point is I don't have that, and I'm not going to have the airfare. I don't know how I'm going to get it. It's just like every day I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way it's coming.
The club won't front you the money to
I mean,
have you pay?
I can ask, but I can see that not happening.
Yeah, drive out there.
No. My car is about to die. These are the things that are adding up. Like my car, the muffler, I think it's the exhaust, but like it's getting louder and louder. And like when I'm idling, you can just hear like it rattle. And then when I put it in neutral, you don't hear shit. Like I leave it in neutral, it's fine. It doesn't make any noise. But as soon as I put it in drive and idle, when I have my foot on the brake, it rattles. But if I start driving, it doesn't rattle, it just gets loud. The muffler's like, and it's just getting louder. And I'm like, I was paying off my Firestone credit card to keep that in, like, paid off so I can use that towards some maintenance. But I haven't paid a bill in a month. My cell phone, I barely am keeping on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's bad, man. My checking account's $500 negative, and I haven't paid one bill except for car insurance. It's the only one that I made sure I paid. And then I put $200 towards a cell phone bill that is $700 or $600.
$600.
It's 2 months.
Is that you and the kids, or just you?
Well, yeah, it's me and the kids. Just me. What the fuck am I doing?
Holy shit!
And my daughter gave me some money. Like, she gave me money 3 weeks ago to put towards it. But it was $100, and like I went towards it. I put $240 towards it, and I'm still at $600.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's just
you should just take this summer and
Suicide?
get 3 jobs, work your fucking balls off just to fucking get fucking.
That's what I'm looking for, something else to do. However, these jobs like this, once I start this other job for Mattel, I might drop this fucking book job just because we need you to go here for on the Friday. Friday I went and did a store, right? And Michael's, Michael's fucking arts and crafts, they have magazines in there.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I put put magazines out, and it was like an hour to visit. They call this guy calls me up. He's like, "Excuse me, you did over an hour at Michael's. That store is only supposed to take 30 minutes. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, well, it took me an hour. I'm brand new there, so it took me an hour just to figure out where everything went.
Right.
He's like, oh, okay, but it's only 30 minutes. I'm like, dude, you're seriously going to call me? You think I'm going to take my Friday and give you 30 minutes of time? I'm not.
They're nickel and diming. Fuck that.
So, I'm going to keep this just to have a couple hundred every once in a while coming in. But because I'll go and I'll do 2 hours here, and I'll do an hour here, and I'll do another hour here. And I just in my head are okay, when I get a paycheck, when they pay me in 2 weeks, it'll be $150 that I got coming to me. I just do it. I just keep going, keep doing, and just thinking, all right, eventually I'll just, it's another $20 to the pot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm looking at. $20 to the pot, $10 to the pot. I don't care. Fuck 20. You know what I mean? So I got that. I got Mattel, which will be probably $15, $16 an hour. I'm still waiting for them to. I've gone on a one phone interview. I've gone on a face-to-face interview. I got one more phone thing to do before I can start that fucking job. That'll probably bring me $300 a week. And then I've been on Craigslist applying for anything, but I got to find out what hours with the Mattel that are definitely off the table, and then I know what I can fill in the rest of the day with. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to plug in days to where I can pull $600 something a week in just to get caught up. But it's fucking all of that. I don't need money. I don't need $600 a week in 4 weeks. I need money today. You know what I'm saying? I am dying every time my phone rings, the bill collector. All day long. And then I get in my car and it's making noise. And then I come back home and I think, well, I still haven't bought those airplane tickets yet. It's fuck, it just makes me ill. Every way I look, I'm like, there's an issue. And yes, I'm trying to get out of the issue, and I'm working and trying to get out of the issue, and I'm not just throwing my hands up and saying, fuck it. But I'm sick of seeing the issues. I just want to I'm done. I'm exhausted just from looking at my problems.
Yeah.
It's just.
Maybe you got to bump that. Maybe you can bump your week forward or something to like the fall in Vegas.
Yeah, I might have no choice to do that, and I don't want to do that. These are not easy. They're not. It's not an easy club to get into.
Right.
Like I looked for somebody like, you heard what happened to Kurt Smith's wife.
Yeah, that's so sad.
So sad. And before that happened, Kirk Smith has a lot of miles, so I was going to see if he can use his miles to pay for my flight, and then I will give him, so say he uses miles and the flight was $400, I'll give him $300. He'll make $300, I'll save $100. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was going to do, but then he had to fly his daughter, and they went out to Sri Lanka, so he used a lot of miles, got a lot going on. I'm not going to ask him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was was going to, and then he had tragedy. I'm like, I can't ask him for that now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know you have bad tragedy in your life, but I'm trying to get out to Vegas to middle.
Exactly. Can you help me get to Vegas? And I mean, as soon as I saw somebody text me like, "Yo, something just happened to Kirk Smith's wife," I just called him, and I didn't really read his post. Please don't call me. We talked for like a half hour, and I was crying. I was a mess.
That's brutal. I mean, that shit is.
Yeah, but I was.
I mean, he put it out there publicly. His ex-wife committed suicide.
Yeah,
and that's insane.
Yeah, she committed suicide. Apparently, jumped off a roof.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's just.
And she has a daughter. I mean, a son and a daughter. His son. It's a lot of guilt. I think she's been. I know Kirk for a while, and his wife was struggling with depression. I think she had maybe put herself in a hospital one time.
He said all that in the post. He put a long post about her struggles and stuff. Struggling,
and then I feel Kurt was owning some of the guilt, and I'm like, I was there when he rode the roller coaster. There's nothing you can do to prevent someone from doing this. Never your fault.
Right. But it's easier said to tell,
Exactly. That's the burden left when you do, you hurt yourself or commit suicide. You leave that burden behind for the people who are alive to own.
Yeah. Now, when anyone dies before their time, before they're old.
Right.
I mean, even when my dad died, you're like, maybe I could have tried a little harder to make him fucking do the right thing and eat the right way. You just, I mean, you eventually come to the realization.
Right. Like even when my good friend Tommy overdosed, and I'm like, he left me a message 3 weeks before that, man. I just should have tried to make an effort to get with him and hang out with him. Maybe he would stay clean. Like, what the fuck? I mean. Yeah. And I did that. And I felt guilty for a year after he died. And I'm like,
you could have power for maybe one night of helping somebody, but you're going to babysit them the rest of their life? No. And so, I felt bad for him like that. I mean, we talked for a while, and I feel bad for his daughter. They all, they think they both own guilt because they both live in L.A., and the mom and his son is severely autistic, lives in a home in Sri Lanka, and the mom was there in Sri Lanka. They came here. So I think Kirk and his daughter probably own a lot more. They feel a lot more of this guilt because their mom was there and they weren't. Right. You know what I'm saying? But, that's – and, one of the things that keeps me going is the stuff like that. I see other people's posts that their lives are really, tragic. Yeah. Things happening in people's lives. And I have a financial problem, and I'm sure it'll eventually all work out. Mm-hmm. So that helps me get through and helps me you know what, I'm going to be okay. And helping other people, reaching out to Kirk, reaching out to other people who are struggling in their lives. I try to reach out just to not think as much about my, you know what I mean? When I wake up, as soon as the last thought I got going to bed, I try to pray and meditate, just help me be all right. Just help me be all right. I'm just not asking to be a billionaire. Just help me be all right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm instantly hot, tingly, because I know when things are not going right, you get that hot,
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things aren't working out today, and that's how I feel. So,
Yeah. Nah, I haven't had that feeling in a long time.
and it's just like I said last December when we were talking about it, in December and January, I mean, I was in this desperation mode. I'm desperate. But I'm not. I'm like chipping away at trying to get out of this hole, and I know that I'm not. Again, not throwing my hands. I'm going, oh, fuck, this sucks. It's over. I'm going to go to sleep until gigs come.
Right.
Not doing that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make things happen. You know, and I'm also at a point where I'm like, all these jobs I'm taking on, I'm like, nothing is stopping me from doing it. Nothing, the ego's not in the way. I'm just is what it is. I'm doing the job. And, I'm hoping that just keep doing the right thing, keep chipping away. Like I was talking to my manager, like when you do it, I think we've said it before, when you're waiting around, it's like being single. When you're single and desperate, people are like, ooh, he smells desperate. I don't want to bang him.
Right.
But when you're in a relationship and you're feeling good or whatever, you're feeling confident and life is good, people are attracted to that.
Yeah.
So like if I'm sitting around waiting for gigs and desperate and need people to call me, it's not going to happen.
No, yeah, exactly.
So if I get out there and work and pay my bills and take care of stuff, things will start to click.
Yep.
You know?
I think the universe pays you back when it sees you doing shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's just hard work leads to more work.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like,
I got gigs, I got passed, I got things in comedy because I busted my ass in comedy and things came.
Right.
It wasn't like, you know, like I just did the work with no eye on a prize. Just keep the work was the work. That the journey was the work. Like this is it. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, that's
yeah.
And
then things paid off. So like right now, I have to do this to get out of this hole. It's not about I'm doing this until I get out of the hole. No, I'm just doing this because that's what I got to do. That's where I am in life.
Yeah, like I remember I think it was last week or the week before you mentioned, you know, like probably, you know, since having a manager, you got a little lackadaisical. You're like, he just fills my calendar and then I just go work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of being like where I'm at, where I'm just always, I'm my manager. I'm hustling to just get bookers and get work and stuff. And it's like when I have a downtime, like what's coming up, I go off and do these random gigs I probably wouldn't have been doing when I was busy.
Right.
These shitty rooms, meeting new people, and it always sometimes leads to more future work.
Right.
But you're just like, you know what I mean? There's like that old like analogy we used to talk about going on the roller coaster, click, 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 click. Then you're, woo, the smooth ride is awesome.
Yeah,
then the ride's over. You're like, all right, now you click, 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 click. You're like waiting in line. You're waiting in line now. So like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
And that's the hustle, the waiting in line, but it's really work. It's like you're going around, you're getting nothing out of these gigs. You're like, fuck. I'm working for free, but it's like you'll never know what it's going to lead to. You know what I mean? No. I've showed up at some shit bar gig in Pennsylvania because a friend's like, dude, I got a show. Do you want to come do it? And then somebody sees you there. Oh, you want to do my fundraiser?
Right.
Oh, wow. I would have never gotten that if I would have sat home like,
absolutely.
Nobody answered my emails.
Yeah, no, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You just go do it.
Right. So, like, I think it's like putting it out in the universe. You're working hard. You're trying your best. And just when you put it out there, there's a vibe about you. There's a relief. Like I'm just not at a relief stage yet because no money's coming in yet. I am making all the effort.
See, that's the difference between you and me. I have the money. I have the bills paid. So it's like my down times are not panic stricken.
But I'm not even talking about comedy. I'm talking about in life. Like I'm making the effort, having a little part-time job, going on interviews, trying. I'm just not seeing paychecks yet, so my anxiety and bills aren't paid yet. So I'm still.
Yeah, you gotta get cash jobs like waiting tables or something.
I just need money.
Yeah, you wait. Wait tables.
How I'm gonna get it?
You make bank every day.
I don't wait tables because I don't know how to do it. I'm not gonna just start learning it. I'm not doing it.
It's easy. You go, what do you want to eat? I want a sandwich. And then you go, hey, they want a sandwich. Then they go, the sandwich is ready. You go, here's your sandwich.
Not doing it. I'll move furniture. I'm not doing it. So
I'm saying if you want to cash.
Yeah, I cash, move furniture, fucking mow a lawn, and I hate everything about that.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying only to hit now. I'm trying to get something that I will be able to maintain for a long period of time, unless I get cruises or like some sort of, corporate work where you're getting bigger chunks of money. I don't need no money coming in. So I want these little part-time jobs that I can keep.
Yeah.
I can keep them all winter long, all fucking spring, I can keep them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like even with the one job I went on an interview last week, I was like, hey, in August I'm going to be away. It's like, I don't care. Like, she didn't even like one of it's like, I don't worry about it. Just do you. As long as your stores are maintained, we don't care. So like, that's what I need.
Yeah. I
need someone who's like, I don't give a fuck. Just make sure you do the job. And I'm like, I can do your job. The job ain't the problem.
Right.
So I have 2 jobs that are right now very willing to work around anything I want to do. So I need that. If I can get one more of those in there,
yeah,
then I can work around. And then if I get 3 little part-time jobs to get me through until September, and then in September, if I want to drop one of them, I'll drop one of them. Okay. And keep 2 rocking with my comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once things start to get better, like September, I think September and October are already, maybe it's one of the months. September's, I think, almost already full.
Okay.
So maybe 1 weekend left. So like, it's coming. The gigs are starting to come for then. But I don't want to be like, well, when I get those gigs, no. That's why I'm really investing in the types of job I pick up right now, so I can keep it.
Gotcha.
I don't want to draw in September, need a new job, do this again. I just want to keep this job, keep these little jobs, have $350 every week just from a little part-time job rolling in. And then if comedy's great, awesome. If comedy's not great, I'm already working. Right. That's what I did in November, December, and January of this past year, when I went in that deep hole and got desperate, I didn't get a job.
Right.
I got desperate and put my head under the sand and was like, this sucks. And then I got out and I had awesome comedy work for 3 months. And instead of in those times, I should have got a job.
Yeah.
And then when those times stopped, I would have been prepared, and I wasn't. And I talked about being prepared for this summer, and I just didn't prepare.
Yeah.
Now I want to just be prepared. I don't want to feel this again. I want to be prepared.
Yeah, I prepared for this summer. That's what because I wanted to have. Now, I didn't turn down gigs this summer, but I didn't like actively seek gigs this summer. And right. I was like, if gigs come in, I'll take them. But I kind of wanted like a summer back to like hang with my wife and shit and just do life shit. So it turns out I got like two headlining weekends in the summer. One in July, one in August. So it's like
right.
I'm doing comedy, but I saved like a ton just so I could not take work. Like not so like the fact that there's no work coming in is not as bad for me.
Right.
I can have the summer off to like live a life. But yeah, you got to prepare for shit like that. But
I prepare. I mean, last summer was not horrible. The summer before that was horrible. Last summer wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. But I knew that I needed. I talked about it with somebody else that I should have at least been able to save some money to get through the summer. And the truth is, opening for Kathleen was a big chunk of change that's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were big. That was like cruises. You know what I'm saying? That was cruise money almost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just not there. So I didn't prepare. I didn't make up for it.
Yeah.
I didn't make up for it. And that's on me. But now that I'm in a place emotionally, mentally, and spiritually that I don't want to be this broke and this stressed. So I'm at a place that anything that was blocking my fucking progress of getting a job is not there. Whatever was in my way, ego, insecurities, not wanting to admit that I needed help, whatever.
Yeah, it's all there.
It was there, is no longer there.
Yeah, you're humbled.
Yes.
You know, it happens to people.
Yeah. So I'm in a spot where I know that I need to do this. So I'm just not steady ground, that I'm fucking not liking the way I feel in my stomach. I just don't like not having money at all.
Yeah. Well, at least you know what you got to do. It's just doing it. You know what I mean? You've been knowing what you had to do for years now. It's just doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I can't.
You totally control your problem now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I've been, again, for the past 3 weeks, I've had a job. And for the past 3 weeks, I've been trying to get more.
That's good.
This Mattel job just is dragging me on for the start date. It's been 3-week process. I just want to get the start date so I know, okay, this takes 15 hours a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, now I know that I can't do anything Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I can do some shit Monday, Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm looking to do, is so I can map out my calendar and be like, okay, this is the times that are open that I can do other work.
Yeah.
So if I can get 3 little part-time jobs and get, like I said, $500 a week, I just need to start getting some fucking, at the end of a fucking week, I need money to come in. And I don't have any money coming in.
Yeah.
And it's just, I got all these fucking jobs with no money coming in.
Yeah.
Makes me nauseous.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You just
Anyway.
Yeah, no, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Well, we've been down this road with you before. You'll find your way out. It seems like about once a year this happens to you. You know?
It wasn't for a while, but it has, the last year it's been like more frequent again. It took a little break for about 3 years.
Well, yeah, that's the business. I mean, you could be hot. You got on some TV stuff and you rode that hotness where you're getting gigs and meeting people and opening up for big names, and then there's young bucks chipping at the feet. No, but I'm saying though, it changes. Things can change. You could be open up for someone, they just meet somebody else, and then that's the new guy.
That's it, exactly.
It's as easy as that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
I said something, I think, to Sean Donnelly. I'm like, people ask me, that's not working out. What about this gig? What about opening for him? What about, I'm like, yeah, they're not working out. And I can't fucking work my career hoping that someone uses me to open for them.
No. Only if one of your boys makes it are you going to get steady. You know what I mean? But like when you meet somebody new, like if you meet somebody as their opener, like there's so many other ways to get knocked
in a heartbeat. Right. I can't sit there and put my whole career going, she doesn't use me anymore. I guess, what do? I got to find someone to use. Fuck that. You just got to make ends. Just keep doing your own thing. And then if someone wants to use you, awesome. If they don't want to use you, I can't be like, well, my calendar is as they go. No.
Yeah.
No, and not that I was doing that with her or Sebastian or anybody, but like it was nice to have that as like, you know what? I have a little bit of security coming in. Now I don't have that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you got to do more like what I want to do. Like, okay, you'll have your little day job, but go off, make shit money on the road and form relationships with people and just start taking more control of your comedy. You know what I mean?
I want to get I just want to be on a cruise. I don't give a fuck. I just want to get on cruises because that money is better than nothing. And I don't care about the store. I don't care. I don't care.
I was telling Carrie, I went to dinner with Carrie Saturday, and we were walking through Morristown just shooting the shit. And I was like saying how we were hanging with Rich after our show, and he was talking about cruises. And I was like, I met 2 guys that work cruises that tell horror stories. I've met another guy that told me horror stories. I mean, they make good money. I go, when I say, I'm like, I told Carrie, I'm like, when I say I would never do that, I go, it makes Mike so angry. He's like, I don't give a shit if you wouldn't. I'm like, I'm not trying to say.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not trying to say you can't.
No offense to you.
No, I'm saying, I felt like me not wanting to, you were like, then go do something else. I'm like, calm down, Mike. I'm not saying you can't.
Yeah, but anybody so we've had this conversation before. A lot of things that you don't want to do, it's like what people do. It's like, I don't want to do that. Well, that's what people do to make a living. I understand you don't want to do it, and there's people who work at Lowe's that I don't ever want to work at Lowe's. So there's a lot of people. There's guys working on the back of garbage trucks. They make good money. I don't want to do it. I don't care about the money.
There's many ways to make a living. My whole point was I don't want to be on a cruise ship. I'm scared. I have anxiety to be on a cruise ship socially on vacation. Never mind needing to be at my utmost to perform.
But that's not what you always shit it down for. You're like, I heard these stories. You're stuck on there with people who didn't like you. Who cares? I'm that bothered. I wouldn't. I'll be stuck. I don't give a fuck. Oh, I'm stuck with you. You don't like me? I'm going to make $3,500 this week. You don't like me? I'm all right with it. And
I'm just saying it goes to show what people said about cruise ships, how it changes you in your comedy. Because like he said, he used the word Jew in his set, and he had to do an apology letter. Like that was apparently he's actually a Jewish man using the word Jew, and he has to do an apology letter because one passenger complained that it's like the antithesis of like comedy.
Well,
like when we have these bosses where they're going to
it's not comedy, but like it's like I'm just using your example because it just came to my mind.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing what you want to do. You're editing and all that. You love that. That's your job, right? You love that was a career before you even knew comedy was an option. That was something you really loved, right? But like if you had an option and somebody said you want to come work for Scorsese and just put films together for Scorsese, you'd be like, that is the dream job in like your world, say, right?
Right.
So, but you're doing the job, part of the job, and you love it. But if you had the choice, you want to do that job. It's not comedy, but it's not Home Depot packing lumber out.
Right.
So I'd rather just do comedy and, I'll have to abbreviate myself. Fine. I'm mature enough to know I can do that. I can be squeaky clean. And that's what kind of was aggravating me, not you. Like Rich is talking like before we even got there. Oh, you think you can do it because you got to be really clean. Rich, I could be cleaner than you'll ever be in 3 hours of material. I can be cleaner.
No, but like him and Rodney were saying, it wasn't even about the clean. It was like they've gotten write-ups because of like an attitude.
No, I know that.
Like of being not like too aggressive, even if you're clean. And it's like, what?
But that's not what he was saying to me earlier. And I get that part of the conversation too, because me and Tom were talking about that. That it's like my aggression and my kids suck. I wouldn't be able to say it like that.
Right.
But I also would be able to eat if I just said it. Hey, you know what? My kids are tough. I'd rather eat. And then I'll say my kids suck on the road at real comedy clubs. But if I can use this, it's like opening for Kathleen. I couldn't do my whole act, my hardcore act in front of Kathleen because she couldn't curse in front of your opener. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The open. So I had to be a little lighter, but I was doing it. I enjoyed the gig. It was awesome venues, but it wasn't totally me. I wasn't able to really be Mike Gaffney in the front.
Right.
But I was getting decent money, and I didn't mind doing it because it was comedy. If I'm on a cruise, no. Is that the ideal location I want to be? Hell no. But I also would love that money because I'm in a major hole, and I don't want to fucking.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I if I was going to equate it to my editing, because like you have like your dream editing things, like editing a Scorsese movie, and then like I had these other
recitals.
Right, but then I had like these like which I hated doing, and I hated editing weddings, but even so I don't do any of them anymore. Right. Or I could have made a way more money working at like PIX or like one of these news stations editing news. It nauseated me. It nauseated me. So the editing I do now, I have creative control. I have freedom. It doesn't nauseate me, but I'm making less money. Right. But I don't feel like I don't feel like a machine. Like I felt like you know what I mean? Like they treat you like shit in some of these.
What if you can make the money you're making right now, right? But you work in a brickyard.
Yeah, but that's apples and oranges.
No, it is. I know that because you have an option to do something that you enjoy, right? Now, say this job didn't exist, but the Pix fucking news thing is the only one that existed. That or sling brick.
Oh no, yeah, I would do that.
Right. So,
but there are other options other than cruise ships. Is what I'm saying to make money in comedy. Is it going to be as much money? No. You know what I mean? I just think it seems like a miserable experience for money for me. For you know what I mean?
If it's a miserable experience for money, but when you're so far in a hole, I can work in Pennsylvania for somebody for $1.50. I can't do that.
Yeah,
I'll take it right now because I need $1.50.
Yeah,
but you think I'm making my career path on $1.50?
Oh yeah,
weekend?
no. And I never even was talking about. I think you should totally do it. What made me laugh was when I I was like, Mike gets angry that I don't want to do it.
No, I don't get angry that you don't because I don't care if you want to. I mean, you have something you really enjoy. I get mad when you say in this general statement, people say cruises suck. I don't care.
Oh no,
I don't care if they say it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's what people say to me. I don't want to be away. I couldn't be away from my family for like 2 weeks.
Right. And
I'm going away for 10 days in November to do comedy, and I'm already lonely. I haven't even left yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who can't do that. Then that's the part of the job isn't for you.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't mind the road. I mean, my kids are older now. I don't mind the road. I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. That's like totally something I would enjoy. I know it gets lonely, but I still
I'll
enjoy
be fine with the road if the shows are good and the comics are fun and I'm having a good time. That 10-day trip will be great. It's when the road is garbage and you're like, oh.
You hear like Rich is like, like the Carnival cruises, they pay the least amount of money. Yeah, they do. Like $1,500. But it's like you do 4 shows and you hop off and you go on another cruise. You do 4 shows over there, make another $1,500 and go home. Yeah, it's not $3,500 for the weekend for 9 shows that you had to do and do a host and on the better ship and you're like the soup. You made $1,500 and you did the comedy rooms and who cares? Like I just like try to put my brain around what I'm very uneducated.
Yeah.
I only have skills in sales or retail management.
Yeah.
Both require 60 hours a week roughly to work.
Yeah.
So I can do that and make $1,000 a week at 60 hours a week, or do what I love, which is make people laugh.
Yeah.
And make $1,500 a week. I think I want to do the $1,500 a week.
Oh, sure. Well, then do it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I don't want to do that for a career, but it's what I need to do to get out of this hole and to make it like some steady, like, I have 10 cruises booked. There's $15,000. You know what I mean?
I know. I just personally, as your friend and supporter of your comedy career, think you'll disappear on the cruises. You won't be around. I think if you put I think if you had enough to pay your simple bills and just put effort into your more being a club comedian and getting yourself out there more, that would be a happier life for you. Because like Rodney even said that when you're on the ship, you're not around to try for shit.
No,
you know what I mean? You're lost out there at sea.
Rich said that.
You know?
Rich said he missed the...
Because you'll get used to the money and you won't go back. You won't go back to doing anything else because you're going to get used to that money and you'll start hating that.
Well, here's the deal. You have to have a goal. I am extremely in the hole. No part-time job, no 17 part-time jobs is going to get me out of this hole.
Yeah.
All right? A full-time job is what I need, which means no comedy. That's it. It's either I have a full-time job to get me out of this hole with no comedy. There is no room for comedy in the work I do full-time because you have to work Fridays and Saturday nights. Right. That's just it. That's your job. So it's either a full-time career that makes $80,000 a year to get me out of this fucking hole, or I say, well, I want to do cruises, and if I can book 10 cruises, that'll get me almost out of a hole for a little while. I'm not a money motivator. Never have been. So going out on cruises and I'm making $1,500, $3,000 a week, I don't want to give that up. I want to do what I want to do for comedy.
Yeah.
But I also want stability. So if you could tell me I could book 15 to 20 cruises in a year,
right?
Well, that's all I want.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want...
No, I think you should do it. I'm just worried about, Yeah,
yes,
I think you should do it. Get it if that's what you want to do. I just don't want to see you become something you're not.
Yeah, and I don't want to be something I'm not, and I'm hoping that I'm strong enough and confident enough in who I am is what, like, it's like just like working the road. It's like, I'm going to be a road dog. I'm going to go out and do Indianapolis. I'm going to do Arizona. I'm going to go up to Canada and do a week. It's awesome. It's comedy clubs, but you're not in the city and nobody sees you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's like, if you asked me when I first started, what do you want to do? I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just doing comedy. But then somebody said, what would be your ideal? Every time someone asks me, what's your ideal for comedy? I just want to make a living.
But do you think it puts a stank on you?
What?
Like if you become known as someone that does the cruise ships? I mean, you know what I mean? Like in the city and stuff. You know what I mean? It'll put you further back than what you're at now.
I think it does put a stank on you, but when you come back and you show and you do a spot in the city and you're like, wow, that dude just crushed and we were here every night. And that dude just walked in with new material, with quick material, with like fucking with a 12-minute fucking showcase tie, bam, bam, bam. Like he like doesn't miss a beat. I don't miss a beat. Like taking me when I go on the road, I still come back. I know how to be a comic.
Right.
And I know how to create, and I'm always wanting to create new jokes. So that's on the ship isn't going to pull that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just putting it out there, just for conversation's sake. Not saying you would be that.
No, I know, and it does. I think it does, but it's also like, man, how much more? And this is not. I'm not saying you meant this, but how much more of my career am I going to let these motherfuckers control? Oh, you don't think I'm great at because I do cruises? I got to pay my bills, man. What, you're going to give me 76 spots this week? No, fuck off then.
All right, that's why I don't feel bad about being basically just a road comic, a Jersey road guy.
Right.
Because I got to go make money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got to go make money. I have a mortgage. So it's like, it is what it is.
Exactly. So I can find in the city, and the only guys who are getting enough money, there's about 30 guys probably in the city that make enough money alone from spots.
Right.
How many more? There's not enough of them out there. Some of the guys are probably making, some of the core like seller guys, they're probably making $600 to $700 a week doing spots in the city, right? But there's not a lot of those. There's not enough of those spots for me to make $700 a week.
Right.
And no one's using me enough. And I can't just hang out and wait for someone to use me twice a week. So
not at this stage.
So I need to make good money. I need to be have some stability in my personal life. And then I'll be happy. And I'll go to the city and I'll hang out and I'll talk all day long with people. I just need to be happy. And just need to know that my bills are being taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think cruises for me, I would like colleges, of course I would, but all that market isn't. Even Tom, I said, he was like, if you were to tell me you want to get into the college market, he goes, I'll tell you crazy. Not because of my age because it's almost impossible to get work.
Yeah.
It's just not easy, you know?
Right.
So that would be more ideal for me. I would love to do as many clubs as I possibly could. But I'm not a guy. I'm not the guy they're going to use.
Yeah. Watch me talking shit 10 years. I'll be like on a cruise ship. Like, this is great.
Huh?
I said, watch me. I'm talking all shit, and 10 years from now, I'll be on a cruise. This is great. I'll be emceeing the Lonnie Kailani Luau at 6 o'clock on deck 2.
And what Rich was concerned, like he just kept saying, like, this is tough and this is hard and this is tough. It's soft. Like everything Rich and everything Rich gets, he always puts a negative thing on it. Like he could be at a club. So I'm at this club tonight, but you know how it is. It's like it's a shitty show. It's like, who cares?
Right.
Everything can't be. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, it's hard. You got to fill out paperwork, and sometimes you got to take 2 planes. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'll take you right now to the guys working fucking outside garden in Home Depot.
Yeah.
Swap it. Swap it out with them. Swap it. Swap the jobs.
Yeah, swap the jobs.
Hack out fucking mulch for 50 hours.
Well, sometimes people just like to. That's just like a thing you do with your coworkers is bitch about jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a thing you do to release stress.
Yeah,
it's not doesn't mean you don't want to do the job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I also
TV sets were on. It's just bitch, you fucking guy, fucking make you rig the fucking wire that way, fucking.
Yeah.
You just it's just the thing you do.
And this isn't anything about what you were doing at the diner, but like I felt like, and this is from an earlier conversation. I just felt like it was like, no, this wasn't even at the diner. This was earlier conversation with me and Rich. That's like discouraging. Like, I don't even do it, man. It's not even worth it. Like, how about I'll make the judge. I'll judge it.
Oh no, you make a judgment, but you hear
not you.
Yeah,
I'm saying what he was saying. He was saying, and he says that with a lot of things that he gets.
Yeah,
you don't even want to do it. Like, it's like, how about I try? I'll give it a shot. How about I just give it a shot? It's like when I got Last Comic Standing, I didn't go around going, it's not even worth it, guys. Then fucking, it's awesome. Just go for it. I don't know. It's awesome. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah. Was it like you're gonna find 50% of the comments like, fucking, you got interviews, you fucking all day on set, it's stupid. They fly us out. I know I got no chance. Like, oh my god, so much shit. It sucks. It sucks. There's a guy right now who has to work overnights, fucking in some warehouse, making $9 an hour. It sucks for him too.
Yeah. Bitching about the opportunity you have is weird.
That's my point.
Yeah, like me, like I was listening to an interview with Billy Bob Thornton, and I related with him a lot. It's weird how much I relate with Billy Bob Thornton. He was the first guy that I've ever heard of that's afraid of antique furniture like me. So he finally he validated that fear. I'm not alone. But he was saying he was he's like the most optimistic pessimist.
Right.
And I felt the same way because he said, he goes, in my heart, I dream and I know I can do things and I always have hope for projects I'm on inside.
Right.
But if you talk to me, I'm pessimistic about it. It's like my defense mechanism because I don't want to come off douchey. And sometimes I feel like when you're over positive, you feel like, oh, shut the fuck up. Or sometimes when I feel like when I talk so positively about something, I don't get the work done because I basically got it done telling you. Like I already did it in my mind. It already worked out. I laid it all out. Where when I'm negative about it, it seems like a job.
Right.
But I'm optimistically, that way.
Right.
Like inside, like I get things done. But if you hear me talk, it's like he didn't get nothing done. The fucker acts like it can't be done. But it's like that's just how I talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? I come up, but when I'm getting things, when things are working out, I'm not like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, or like you're like, oh, it's just simple. Like you work at Uncle Vinny's a lot, and someone comes up to you and was like, man, I'd really like to get Uncle Vinny's, and you're like, that's not even worth. Like, are you doing it? Don't tell me what's worth it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do people do that? Like, if you're just
or people shit on the fact that I work there so much, like. I mean, you work there a lot. You're like, so?
I just use Uncle Vinny, but I'm saying, like, if you were past at a club, if you were past at fucking Catch a Rising Star and somebody said, I want to get in that club, you're like, it's not worth it. Like, are you doing it? Yeah. Why is it not worth it for me?
Right.
You seem to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like guys who talk down what they're doing. Like, are you discouraging me from doing it? Because you're not.
Well, because especially in comedy, especially, it also, in the filmmaking and TV, mostly in comedy, is people feel like every opportunity gets you to lead to something bigger, and sometimes it doesn't. That's just the opportunity.
Right.
Or it could lead to something bigger, but just not in your time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
like when I was flying out to Vegas, to LA, was like the year right after Last Comic, and I think it was that summer. It was after Last Comic aired, and I just felt like a big fucking loser. Mm-hmm. Like, Last Comic was...
And rightfully so. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, just end it. And I was just like, man, this sucks. I was flying out to L.A. to hang out, and I had nothing going on. I think I made 2 or 3 spots, but I was just coming out to hang out.
Right.
And I went out, and I was, like, laying in my hotel. I was flying out, and I felt like so, like, man, what a loser, man. You got nothing, man. You got the opportunity. It's gone. Like, nothing happened. And I was listening to a podcast with Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn was talking about Jon Favreau and how Jon was in Rudy. Mm-hmm. He's like, Jon had just done Rudy. Favreau just did Rudy, and it was waiting tables at UCB in Chicago. Or not UCB. What is the other one in Chicago?
Upright Citizens.
Second City.
Oh, Second City. Yeah.
He's like he was doing waiting tables or busting tables at Second City, and after he did Rudy, and I was like, what? And he was like, on to the next thing, and I was like, yeah, Rudy was just a thing, not the thing.
Yeah, it's just a thing. Yeah,
a thing. It's not and there's a many other things. Not everything's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when comics are talking about it, I can sense what's true. Like, it's a good club, but it's a pain in the. I can sense that. Like I get you're venting that some things suck. You're not trying to discourage me.
Right.
But then there's guys who are discouraging you because they feel like they don't want you to have it.
Right.
And that's how I felt at the diner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's that too. They don't want. They think they'll give up their spot if you take it. Yeah.
So they took. You don't want to do that. It's like, look, I see through this nonsense. So stop yapping to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we're at a diner, and I got on my left the discouraging guy because he doesn't want me to do it, and I got on the right the guy who doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I lose my shit.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I'm like, oh shit.
Because I want to do this.
Like when you like set your head back and like had like a minor flip out. I'm like, oh shit. Did I make him think that I don't want him to do it? I was like, I'm totally talking about myself. Because you check like sometimes. Do you ever have that sometimes? Like you don't think you're being a dick, but then someone gets mad at you. You're like, whoa, what happened? I'm totally in a different world than you right now. Like, I don't what. And then so I thought maybe I said something.
No, but that night just was like a combination of all of that.
Yeah.
But me and you have had a conversation before, like, a few years ago, you were like, every time we talk, like, listen to podcasts, can't make a living doing comedy anymore. And I'm like, dude, I hear you, and I'm glad that you're listening to a lot of podcasts and getting some input from a lot of people. But I'm trying to make a living doing comedy, so can you stop telling me how impossible it is?
Right.
And I know, so when you're saying, man, I've heard so many people tell Cruz is just impossible, it's just horrible, I wouldn't want to do it. I'm like, I'm glad you don't want to do it, but I'm really voicing my desire to do it. Can we not talk about how bad it is all the time?
Yeah, no, I think when I talk about comedy being tough to make a living at, it's more like I'm telling myself, do it because you love it. Because stop worrying about the living aspect of it. Stop worrying about that will come if it comes. If you get good and like those things will come. If I'm always worried about financial, I feel like I'm less creative. I'm having less fun on stage because I'm so worried about the dollar. Right. Where but if I accept it, this may never come. Let's have fun with. I've had nothing but better success since tackling it that way. I've never made more money with comedy than I do now. I'm never having more fun than I do now because I stopped putting that pressure on myself.
I mean, that's
of the finances. So sometimes when I say stuff like that, I'm not saying it's impossible. Why try? I would have quit then, and we wouldn't even be doing this podcast.
No, I know, but when you would say it, you're coming from a place that you're not trying to make a living doing comedy.
No. Well, because I always same thing, like when we met Sebastian Maniscalco in the green room, he always had a job until he and that I always wanted that. Like, I'm going to keep my job and then hopefully I can quit it and just be a full-time comedian. And when I realized I couldn't do that.
See that as it's a really impossible way to look at it. I mean, to do it. Especially where you live and what your whole circumstances are, home, wife, full-time job. It's really hard to just become that and then become a full-time comedian.
Right.
Like Sebastian was in LA doing all the showcases to get picked up to be a guy. You know what I'm saying? And he waited tables because he didn't. Why wouldn't he? A single guy living in LA. Why would you not have a job?
Yeah.
In LA and still do spots at night. Like if I was a single dude, no kids, I'll tell you right now, I would have lived in New York with 75 roommates, right, making 12 cents a week. I would have worked a million fucking comedy clubs. I would have done whatever the fuck it took to eat. Yeah. I would have sat people. I was doing that. I was seating people at doors. I would have still been working probably New York Comedy Club, seating people and being a waiter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would I do anything different? I was just enough to make food, money, pay some little bit of bills, and do comedy all day long, and hopefully something breaks.
Right.
You're in a different position. You can't do that. You have a family. You have a mortgage. You have kids. You have stepkids, wife.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are you going? You're gonna live in the city and try to wait for something to break?
Right. No, but that was a dream of mine to do that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it's almost impossible to do that with a full-time job and a whole life around you.
Right.
You know, Sebastian saying he worked his butt off, but also because I didn't want to not have money. You lived in L.A. by yourself. You're a single dude. We're waiting tables and fucking getting up. You're not the same struggles as Joe is working a full-time trenched-in job.
Right.
That's not the same person. You're not doing the same thing.
Right.
You know, I would have done that angle. I mean,
no, but I never. I don't. I just think sometimes you misunderstand me. I never try to discourage people from things they can do. I never try and make it like sound an impossibility. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes you got to live in a little bit of a reality, like to constantly bullshit yourself into thinking things aren't hard makes you not going to achieve a goal either. You know what I mean? If you're that in the fucking clouds,
right?
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, yeah, absolutely.
Like sometimes I can't even talk to people that are such dreamers. You're like, dude, you're on I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like I remember when I was strictly before comedy, when I was strictly going to film festivals with my short films and making films, I'd run and like people like have these ideas for movies. Like, yeah, it's like, what are you a fucking maniac? Right. Like, you have no semblance of reality of how hard it is to make a film, how to write a good script. Like just because you watch movies and enjoy them. You think you know what could have made that movie better. Don't make you a screen. What the fuck? Like, I used to just, I got to get you out of my life. You're a fucking, or like I'd make a screenplay. So why don't you make it? Because it stinks. Because it stinks. And I know what it takes to make the screenplay. I'm not wasting 6 months of my life to make this garbage screenplay. It's an okay screenplay. And an okay screenplay makes a shitty movie. You need a great screenplay to make an okay movie. You need an amazing screenplay to make a great movie. It's like the screenplay's got to be like so much better. Right. You know what I mean? But like I used to hang out like in these like filmmaking groups, kind of like meetup groups where you'd meet and you'd all, and like you'd be like, people are out of your like you're so in La La Land. I can't. I guess you know what I mean. And then a person like me comes off negative. You're just so negative. I'm like. That's why I feel like I'm the optimistic pessimist. It's like, it's like we need to be in reality. Like I believe we can make something great. Right. But the way it is now, it stinks.
You're right, but I do think you need a little more dreamer, like caution to the wind. Like fuck it, let's see what happens. Dreams.
No doubt.
Versus, you don't want to tie yourself down. You're already stable and tied down to you mean like let yourself float a little bit in the world of dreamers.
And listen, I could probably do that a little bit more with my stand-up for sure. Right. Like I have 13 to 15 people that believe I should shoot my comedy hour.
13 to 15 people.
Yeah. I mean, close friends, you know what I mean? That harp on me for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like anytime any short film I've put out into the world and into film festivals has been a success. So my formula works for success. Right. With like, I know what stinks. Right. Because I've been doing that long enough. I know what stinks and what doesn't stink. You know what I mean? I don't have that formula down with stand up yet. I haven't, because it's weird putting that out there for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like a movie I made, it's not me. I made it. Right. We acted in it, and it's a thing. But when you put up your stand-up act out there into the world, that's fucking you. There's no fucking turning around. Like there's no like that's really this is the product of 12 years of my life. Here it goes. Oh, it stinks. Okay, I knew I shouldn't have put it out. Or I want it to be right. Like I want it to look right. I want it to sound right. I want it to right. Like I was talking to KP about it the other day. Like I structure my stuff differently. I don't know how I want to structure it. Right. You know what I mean? It's tough to sit down and structure. Right. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, and then I feel like, well, you're going to be so structured, you're going to come up like a fucking robot.
Right.
Mr. Structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like just go fucking do it.
Right. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I guess I could have a little bit more throw caution to the wind with that, you know. Stand up, it's different throwing caution to the wind. 'Cause it's like you're just trying to get spots. Like
Yeah, no, but
you know what I mean?
No, I'm saying it's not. It's a little more. It's not just trying to get spots. I mean, like yeah, I think you just have to. There's a little more hope that, like, you know what? I think you have to have a little more hope and a little more dreams. Like, you know what? This is all. Anything's possible. So why don't I just keep? You know, you're doing it like you're doing it on a level. I'm just talking about like. Fuck it. Like, I'm just going to go for it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of guys you see, younger guys who just say, fuck it. I'm going to go for it. My day job sucks. I'm just going to go put in all the hours. I'll get some shitty little part-time job enough to get, I'll take a roommate on. You're not doing that. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about guys who can do that. Go for it.
Oh, yeah, no, totally.
And then, like, I wish that I wasn't all about the money. I want to be about the fun of doing comedy and the art of telling a joke and all that stuff. I do. I want to be about that. I wouldn't be able to do comedy at a level of that I want to be at if I had to work a full-time job.
Yeah.
Me personally, I just don't have skills to do anything other than these kind of labory jobs that don't lead themselves to many free hours.
I guess, you know, I've heard always, you know, I mean, I've only been in comedy, you know, circles for 12 years.
Right.
And it's just always been like a thing, like that's your last thing when you've given up and I don't feel like I have anything to offer the industry. Now
Right.
I will go off and die on cruise ships.
Right.
Because I've aged, I feel I've done all I can now.
Yeah, I don't feel that.
Right, but I'm afraid. That's why I'm afraid that like that's the vibe in the industry. That if I know you can come into the city and do a spot and kill it.
Hello?
I
fucked up for a second. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Boom. Cancel that. What the fuck? Come on. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, it might be I mean, for sure it's an industry vibe, but I mean, there's also a way of doing cruises where no one really lets you know you're doing cruises. There's a lot of guys putting out there where they're at. Doesn't mean Mike Gaffney's going to take videos of him in Cancun with tourists and post that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like I just want to make the living, make people laugh, and my material isn't going to be that much different. It might be my delivery. I might not. A lot of my edgier stuff won't be able to be done on the cruise.
But that's the one thing that fucking bothers me about these goddamn cruises is the thing your manager said. It's like they're already before you're even on the fucking ship. You're not Mike Gaffney no more. You like the thing that I like to watch you on stage is this frustrated with that's you. That's who you. That's your character. That's your clown. That's your comedy guy. I'm fucking frustrated with the world. I'm gonna tell you about my frustrations. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little harsh for these people on the ship eating unlimited shrimp. The fuck out of here. And it's like, I hate to see you be because you're not going to be happy being this like, hey guys.
But that's why I don't want the bigger ships. Rich wants the bigger ships for the money. He's trying to do these for I want 30, 3,500 of fucking shit. Sometimes they're 20, but I want what I would get if I was a manager at Home Depot, bro. That's all I want because I don't want to be a manager at Home Depot. That's it. There's the weighing. So,
no, I get it.
You know what I mean? So Carnival has the comedy clubs. I was at that show. They said whatever the fuck they wanted.
Okay, yeah. As long as you do those. I don't want you to be a game show host on a cruise ship.
No. Tom's trying to get me in the comedy club ones. Now, those other ones, I don't see me not having fun once in a while doing that kind of stuff because I don't mind that. I don't mind hanging out with a bunch of strangers and hosting karaoke.
Well, host that stuff is fine because you're not being the comedian there. You're not messing with your act, but
yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Because
to be the cornball guy who's like I'm going to walk in there and go, gee, Willikers, everything stinks.
Right.
It's not going to be me. You're right. It's not going to be me, and I'm not going to write
I can't picture you doing an hour unfrustrated.
Yeah.
There's not a chance. I feel like you will be unfrustrated, Mike, for 15 minutes. And they're not going to.
The fact that I'm not frustrated will make me frustrated.
And yes, and you know what? Because you're not going to be you, and they're going to know it, and they're not going to give you the love you're used to. You can be like, because you're being a fraud,
right?
And then you're going to become real Mike Gaffney, and then they're going to fly you off the ship in a helicopter.
That'd be cool. I've never been in a helicopter.
Be like, my career's over, but I got a great helicopter ride over the Caribbean.
I think, like, when I was doing Woodloch Pines, which anybody, listeners, Woodloch Pines is like a family resort up in, it's like Catskilly, way up in Pennsylvania. I think it's in Halsey, Pennsylvania, PA. It's way out. It's like about a 3.5 hour ride from here, right? And it's a old school family resort, and they get about 800 people a week. I mean, they get a lot of people. Every Friday, a new family comes in. Every summer, the families take the same week every year. So, like, you might be complete strangers, but you meet up at this place every year. You're like, your family grew up together. Like, we've been coming here for 20 years. I remember when your son was 2. You know what I mean? Like, just a really big family atmosphere. And every Friday, 4 years ago, I did their show. It was like in this almost like a mess hall type of room with like a bar and grill in the back, and it was all little kids running around, and you had to be squeak. Topics, everything had to be squeak.
Yeah.
Right? And I was able to do flying and pooping if I was nervous, and they laughed. The little kids laugh at poop. So, like, the parents didn't care about that. But I had to be squeaky clean. And I did it every week. And, you know, by the end of the summer, I was like, I'm not writing. I don't want to keep doing the same material.
Right.
But I'm not going to write material that's geared towards squeak. I'm just going to write whatever comes to me.
Yeah.
And if it's squeak, awesome. If it's not, it is what it is. I don't want to create material to just do this forever. So, like, if I was doing a cruise, I'll be creative. I can create stuff about the cruise, create stuff about the trip, and do all of that stuff. I'll probably have 20 minutes of material just about the boat that I never have to bring off the boat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just have that every week. I'll do that.
Yeah,
it's like
then the ship will be like, can you not make fun of the boat like that? We don't like you making fun of.
Fine.
That'll be a thing. I've been to comedy clubs where if you or a venue where you shit on it, and they're like, can you not do that tomorrow night? Can you not shit on the venue? It's like, I'm sorry, I thought we were just trying to get laughs. You think people aren't going to come here because I made fun of your wallpaper?
Yeah, right. But I think I'm talking about like the stuff like, you know, make fun of the excursion, some of the, like, you just make fun of little stuff here and there. Like, I have the snorkeling bit and all that stuff. If you make jokes about everything everybody's doing, you can do, I'll probably come up with 20 minutes just about that.
Right.
It's like doing an NA show. I'll give you 20 minutes of your NA stuff that I never do anywhere else.
Right.
Here you go. Blah, 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 blah. My sponsor, blah, 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 blah. 90 minutes, 90 days, blah, 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 blah. Done. You know what I'm saying? And here's the jokes I've been working on. Yay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so those 20 minutes I'll probably develop, and I never really have to tap into 20 minutes of my material, and do the next 30 will be whatever I want to say about my material. But I'm not going to create material geared towards just them just to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But I can do the job. I know I can. And I've been I've been friendly, non-aggressive Mike. And sometimes it's not that hard for me to do.
Yeah.
But I understand going out to sea is like going out to pasture. But I'm.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? You're stuck. You got to do it. I get it. No, I get it. I totally get it. I get it. You got to do what you got to do. Listen, there's work I do I don't want to do. I just do for money. And what are you going to do?
If you see me wearing Hawaiian shirts when I'm just hanging out in the city, then we got a problem.
I'm getting a new podcast host. Then.
Yeah. If I got boat shoes on, and we're walking through Manhattan, we have an issue. Mike is deep.
Yeah, you got like the skipper from fucking Gilligan's Island hat on.
Exactly.
Oh no.
dark tan. Like, what's happening, guys? You know what I mean? Like, now, if you start seeing that happening, then we got an issue.
Dark tan, just total hacky premises. Dude, men and women are so different, right?
Yeah. Give me the remote. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Why do you park on the driveway and drive on the parkway? Am I right? Am I right? Oh no, Mike. What happened to you're shipified?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I can do it my way.
I'm not saying all comedians on ships are hacks, but we know you know.
We know.
Some people.
Yeah, you know who you are. Like Tom, like Ronnie says, there's another ship that does just comedy clubs. Those are the ones that I would fit perfect in, and that's the ones Tom's like, dude, they're meant for you. You would do great at them.
So say fucking get moving now.
Just get me in one weekend on one of those comedy club boats. They would be like, okay, this guy is fresh. He's totally not a hack.
Right.
And he's willing to do our boats. Let's get him work. You know what I'm saying?
You know, places like that and like corporate events and like they don't care about hack or nothing. They care about complaints. Can that guy get laughs and we get no negative comment cards? That's totally strictly what they're about.
Right.
They can give two shits about creativity. Be like, bro, we don't care if you go up there and bang on a drum for 10 minutes and say not one word. If the people go, this was great and I wasn't offended, that's all the ship cares about.
That is true. But on these comedy clubs, they want, if you get like a lot of people like writing like, this guy was so funny, we had a lot of fun at the comedy show, he was really funny, that's going to get you work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, listen, it's always about reviews.
Right.
You know? People take reviews so, like, I had a booker tell me that they got one negative card on me at a show. Now, it was a show that I killed, dude. If you were at the show, it was fucking a great show. One card. He's like, yeah, I don't know. The audience said they were kind of upset about your talking about your dad's funeral. One. So there's 100 people there. And you're giving all the credit. You're not booking me because of one?
Right.
What about the other 99 that loved me? That laughed at it? He's like, yeah, but maybe you made somebody feel uneasy with that. I'm like,
who cares?
Is that person 10 years old? Tell them to grow the fuck up.
Oh,
do they know they're gonna die one day too?
But
like,
they don't.
But like when that person told me that, I'm like, I'm not even sending you my like. He's like, no, I'll still use you. I'm like, you know what? I don't need this. What am I in the principal's office?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I already know where you're at, so I can't even think about maybe doing something. Now, if you tell me I did a joke that made the audience feel weird, then I bombed the rest of the show.
Right.
Because I lost them with this edgy material I did.
Yeah. Now you
totally in the right. But even if I lay a stinker in the middle, but I finish right, you should be like. So you've already established that I can't even be exploratory on your stage. I have to just give you the hits and don't deviate from the plan. And I wanted to smack the guy and be like, do you know, even if I do the hits, they could not hit one night? Right.
And even the hits, maybe someone gets offended.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter, man.
I just hate
There's something that everyone, I
told audiences to grow the fuck up when they groaned at me. It's like, grow up.
And you're talking about like death. I talk about my kids who I love, and I'll be like, oh man, they get on my nerves, man, they suck, right? And that gets complaints. This guy was talking very harsh about his children. Ugh.
I don't agree with that. I love my kids. Oh, no, he says you didn't love your kids.
I know.
But if you've never felt like punching them in the face once, you're lying. You're lying to us. We all know you're lying. And just, even if you laugh at my frustration doesn't mean you hate your kids, you fucking child. Like, I can't get with people like that. It's like, that's like a woman went out crying one time. I did my dad's funeral. My dad just died. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, mine did too. I don't know if you heard the joke. But so did mine. I thought we're adults here. And, you know, if I was coming to a school or school of kids whose all parents have died and I do this, I'm a dick.
Right.
I'm a dick. But we're grown-ups with adult beverages on the table. And it's 3 minutes of my act. And you're going to cry? Get the fuck out of here. Just You know what? Don't unfollow me on Facebook. Block me so we can never be friends again. How about that, Dumbo? I don't know, man. It's just I understand rules in comedy. I understand being clean, but like I think what bothers me about the cruise ship one was the attitude thing.
Right.
It's like, oh, he's not going to curse. He's not going to talk sexually. He's not going to do religion or politics, but his tone is off.
Well,
get the fuck out of here.
It's when I'm more angrier.
Yeah.
Like I have, and that's in
But
regular
that's
club.
funny to you, though. Oh, regular clubs say that too?
They don't. Nobody says it to me. I know the audience isn't responsive when I'm more angry about my kids than when I'm more frustrated, like in a dad way.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? When I'm more frustrated, like, oh my God, they drive me nuts. Am I right?
I got you.
That's fine. It's when I'm like, yeah, these guys, they suck. That's all I'm saying. They suck. You know what I mean? Like when I cross that boundary, and sometimes the material has nothing to do with like my attitude. I might be aggravated. I might be nervous, and the material comes out more angry.
Right.
And that's when I will turn a crowd off.
Yeah.
And if I say it too harsh, like they suck, people really take that to heart.
Do you say your kids suck? Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, God, they suck. Am I right? They suck. I never say, am I right? It's not part of my act. But when I'm like, my kids, they suck. That sometimes the way I say it, like people are like, and then I make fun of them for doing that, and then they usually whip them back up. But I know how to deliver the material to where they don't feel that.
Yeah, it's like some of my new stepdad material. One night when I was at Arlington, I hate polling the crowd, but I feel like I need to for some of these jokes.
Right.
Because I asked if there was any step parents.
Right.
And there was a lot. And so when I did the joke about best part of being a step parent is knowing you can leave whenever you want. You can just go. There's no consequences. Loads of laughter. If there's no step parents, it's like you're fucking mean.
Right.
Because they don't get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a weird joke. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't even know if I like this idea, but I feel like it ain't going to work everywhere, or I got to find a new way to tell it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, I'll go. Because like when I said, I go, and if you're a step parent in the crowd and you're not laughing at this, you know you're lying. And they laughed even harder at that.
Right.
I'm like, you know.
Right.
But like, I've been in audiences where there's no, or they're not admitting it, you know?
Right.
Because like I'll say it, it'll just get like and I'll be like, what? No step parents here? It's like, no. It's like, oh, okay. I guess you.
All your parents are stuck with your kids.
Yeah, you're all stuck with your kids. Yeah, I should do that. Yeah. But I hate having a joke that like works 50-50.
Yeah, right. No, I hear.
Because like whenever I have that joke coming in the act, like it's about to come, I'm like, and here we go. It's almost like going on a rope swing. You're like, I hope I don't hit the tree. I don't want to get my foot caught in the hoop. I just want to go into the water, get refreshed. And here we go. And then it's just thud. You're like, well, if you had step, we're gonna. Let's just move on from the subject matter altogether. But I feel it's a good premise to explore.
Right.
I find it just baffling to me. The grown adult humans pay tickets to a show. So it's a show. Yeah. And the comedian's up there, and you can't just suspend belief that this could be a thing. Like,
you only get what you're spoon fed that you want. With the spoon fed what you are comfortable with.
Right. It's almost like you want to stop your show and just be like, the rest of the show, I'm going to tell you why you suck. I do have material you're going to love, but I'm going to spend the rest of my night telling you why you need to grow the fuck up.
But I think in a comedy club, that is the agreement the unspoken agreement between the comic and the audience. If they paid $15 to come here, you have absolutely no idea what I'm going to give you, and you're okay with that. At a fundraiser, it's like, we came because my son plays on the football team, and I don't like humor about dead dads.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch that. I'm not going to watch that. So you're not at a comedy show. You're at a fundraiser for your dumb son.
Yeah, no, and I have tailored to. I've not done that joke at certain things because I just know.
Right.
I feel where I can do it and where I can't do
it's
it.
like, we're not cable television. We're not network TV. Like, unlike on television where you can change the channel, you're in these seats, and you got to know that's the relationship. You have to be willing to take on the fucking relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still do it, and I don't care. But I think not so much the dead dad stuff, but definitely the stepdad thing that baffles me.
Yeah,
that like I need step parents in the audience.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
The way I'm telling it, or I gotta listen to it and figure out a different way to get into it.
Right.
I gotta figure out a better way to sell it.
Yeah.
To the masses, because it's such a new joke. I've only told it probably 4 or 5 times, but there's like a second half to it that I'll abandon if it just doesn't get it right off the bat. Because I'm like, well, you're definitely not going along with the rest of this.
Right.
If you're not on, if you say no to the premise,
yeah,
we're gonna start talking about cookies because I'm just really.
I can't think I'm gonna bring it home with any punchlines and tags.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my anchor and we're gonna go the other way. But it's a shame. It's just.
Did you watch I'm Dying Up Here last night?
Nah, I haven't watched any. I've been trying to catch up on the Keepers. I've only watched the first episode.
I've never seen any of the Keepers, so.
Okay. It's quite disturbing.
I put a quote up last night because it was just like one of the girl comedians is like, goes to the owner. She's like, I want to, you bumped me off the show tonight. She was bumped off the show. It's like, you told me I could be in there. She's like, why are you not bumping one of the guys? She's like, the owner's like, why do you still think you're one of the guys? She's like, just because they fart in front of you doesn't make you one of the guys. You're just a girl they don't want to fuck anymore. I thought that was such a great line. It's because they fart in front of you doesn't make you one of the guys. It's just you're a girl they don't want to fuck anymore.
Wow.
And she was like, oh.
Yeah.
Last night had a Richard Pryor, like a guy playing Richard Pryor in it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I got to check it out. I'm finally caught up on Billions, the first season, so I can start the second season. I finally caught up on finally saw the Better Call Saul finale. I saw the Fargo shitty. Finally, Fargo's over. This season was just a waste of my life.
Really?
I was just going episode to episode. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to finish it.
Right.
And then the finale, you're just like, me and Carrie looked at each other like, oh, that was it? Fucking.
Yeah. I never seen an episode, so I don't know.
The first season was phenomenal. Second season was amazing. And this third season, you're like, what the fuck?
Right.
What the fuck?
Did you watch Silicon Valley?
I have one episode. I guess it's the finale.
Okay, yeah.
On my DVR. But Better Call Saul, I liked it. I liked it. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I used to love it, and I feel like they're just keeping me in a fucking state of limbo. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I loved it. I was into it, and then now I feel like it doesn't know what it wants to be.
I don't see that. So and that's what you see. I mean, you could talk. I'm sure there's other people who agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for, and I said this the other night. I'm a sucker for the character. When I fall in love with the people and the characters, I give a lot of leeway to the story because I just like the fucking character. I want to see where they go. And I was just talking to somebody about Orange is the New Black, and like you're like one of the people. Like I lost interest season 2. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't lose interest in season 2. I love the people and the characters. So yeah, I watched. I'll just watch them because I like them.
No, obviously, it's going on. It's this 5th season, so people are watching it.
No, I know. No, I'm not saying even if nobody watched it, I would watch because I like them. I just hate.
The thing I didn't like about Orange is the New Black is I just felt like they just got so far away from Piper's story.
Yeah, but I don't think it was supposed to go 5. It was only supposed to be a short series.
Then it started being hokey to me. It just started being like cornball to me. Like there was the season with I think the last time I saw was like when like that whole thing with the garden and the fucking
The dead guy?
the dead guy, and then I don't know. It just seems so like just I don't like cartoonish.
Right.
I just I couldn't buy into it no more. Where I felt like
if I step back and look at it, even this season is very like this season's all about a riot that's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of like this would never happen in a riot. Like there's a lot. You guys are getting a lot of leeway in this riot. You know what I'm saying? Like they own the prisoners own the prison right now. There's a lot of stuff that like probably wouldn't happen in real life. But again, because they make some of the characters make me laugh. They're funny to watch. They're fun. I just like fun. I just don't care about all of that.
Yeah. Well, shows you. I never make a conscious effort to fucking. I'm never watching this show again. It just falls off. I don't care about it, and you just don't go back.
Well, this season,
like
I'm only watched 5 episodes, and there's still 7 more, and I haven't watched it in 5 days. I haven't watched an episode, so I'm not dying to get back to watching it because it's just kind of just blah. But I haven't constantly said I'm done with it. What happened? Like it's like with Fear of the Walking Dead. I watched the first season begrudgingly, got through that first season of Fear of the Walking Dead. Then they came back to the second half of the first season, and I was like, I don't give a fuck what happens to any of those people.
Yeah.
And I never turned it back on. I just don't care about them.
Yeah. Like Better Call Saul, like, me and Kerry feel the same exact way about it. Like, we like it. We do. We like it. We like the characters. And I think the past 2 seasons at the end, you're like they end on some way where you're like, oh, here we go. Now it's going to start getting into a thing. And then we're like, okay, so we're back at the fucking lawyers with his brother. But like, we like Mike's storyline and what?
Like the downfall to it is the thing that you want to get into.
Right, and that's where we both agree, and I'm not alone in this. I've read other reviewers say it. Like, if Breaking Bad didn't exist, this show would not even last this long.
But
like
Breaking Bad fans, such as yourself, just wanted to get to Breaking Bad.
No, not that we don't want. Listen, it's not that I want to get it to Breaking Bad because Saul has obviously been doing shit a while before we meet him in Breaking Bad. He was involved with this cartel. There's going to be a lot of stories to tell with Saul. I don't need 3 to 4 years for you to tell me how he becomes Saul. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't want you to wrap me up at Breaking Bad on the last final season, like next year or whenever that's going to be. Is what I'm saying. I feel like it could be more.
I think what they're showing, and I might be wrong, but if there was, what I think they're doing is showing long processes how Jimmy McGill always reinvents himself. And the reason why I believe they're doing this longer process of showing how he's reinventing. So he's Jimmy McGill. He was Slippin' Jimmy. Then he was Jimmy McGill, the lawyer. And now he's gonna be Saul Goodman, the lawyer. What I believe, and I might be wrong, is they're going to follow it up after Breaking Bad to that dude in the Cinnabon and how that dude's going to reinvent himself.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But I think to do that properly, we're going to zip through the the Saul Goodman years because we know him. I don't think they're going to stay in those that long.
Okay. I'm just saying, if the show should be able to stand on its own without Breaking Bad.
I think it would.
Like I think my brother has never seen Breaking Bad, and I would be curious for him to start watching Better Call Saul to see if he gives a fuck.
Well, he wouldn't because he didn't even give a fuck to watch Breaking Bad.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Like I feel if the show needs you to watch other series for you to be into it,
I think if you were not in, there's a lot of people who didn't watch Breaking Bad, and those people are not going to watch Better Call Saul because they don't really like great programming.
Right, but no, but do you not understand what I'm saying though?
I know what you're saying.
Do you think this show can hold up if you've never seen?
Dude, it's unfortunate that Breaking Bad was so popular. It's like asking someone, "Hey, we just started a series with fucking Big Pussy, but you never watched Sopranos? You're not going to even know." Who didn't watch Sopranos? Like, you know,
but answer my question. Do you think this show could hold up if you never saw Breaking Bad?
I think it's something that I won't be able to answer because I did see Breaking Bad, so I don't know if I could.
No, but you can't.
I could take, yeah, because I think I like the show standalone, but I do like, because I know who he is. I don't know how it would have felt on a blank slate. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you what other people would do. I think it's a good show.
I'm almost like so into Mike's character. Like I like Mike's storyline that like when it comes back to Saul and his brother, I'm like, fucking all right. Come on, get back to Mike. It's fucking riveting television. Fucking, I mean, Saul. There's some good scenes. The scene this year with his brother in the courtroom and stuff, and and you know, it does have its moments. I'm just saying. I feel
the finale. Spoiler alert. That finale with, you know, Mike. I mean, with Chuck kicking the lantern over at the end after he fucked his whole house up. I just think that's like, what? Like, is that part of Saul's story that fucking Chuck pretty much killed himself, and Saul has that on his conscience because he made him do that?
Yeah, well, we don't know if he's dead yet.
No, I know, but
yeah, you never know.
I'm saying if that's what happened, is that on his? Because remember, not that we saw a lot about Saul Goodman, but Wexler wasn't in there. Kim Wexler wasn't ever around Saul, and neither was his brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never really heard about him at all. I mean, we didn't see a lot of Saul Goodman's private life on Breaking Bad, but
right.
You know, were these people involved in his life? Were they there?
Yeah. No, I'm still into the show. The past 2 seasons I've had hopes going in that didn't give me what I hoped for. So now I'm like hoping, like, all right, I'm hoping this one, you know.
Well, that's what he did at the end. The little nugget of at the end when he said to the moving guys, "I'll meet you there and we'll unload." You know where that's going to be, right?
Yeah,
it's going to be at his office from Breaking Bad. That's why they didn't show where he was going.
Yeah, I do have. I really feel the series is going to become what I want it to be. This next one, you know, I really do.
So he's definitely going to be at the new office, the old Breaking Bad office. Definitely, there's no way that's not the surprise with that truck.
Yeah.
And I think what was Kim? So I mean, I don't know. Kim, maybe that's where they break off, and then she's done. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to happen. But you ever see her not as Kim Wexler, just her character, like her person?
No.
You just got to watch Talking Saul.
Yeah.
Like the first one of this season she was on.
I never taped those. I forgot they even had that.
They only did 2. One at the first episode and one at the end.
Oh, okay.
And she was just, holy Christ, she's so annoying. Like, and I was dating, you know, like Erin at the time, and Erin was like, oh my God, I don't want to watch the show just because of her.
Right.
She was so annoying. And if you look at like, what's his name was on it? Vince Gilligan.
Mm-hmm.
Vince was like, anytime she was yapping, he never was like, yeah. He was just like staring straight ahead, like,
shut up. Shut up. Yeah, I was just thinking of something back from what we were talking about earlier. Remember we were talking about like doing things like just doing things to do them. You never know how they're going to pay off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've been taking an acting class for a couple of weeks.
Right.
You know, and it's like no monologues and stuff. It's just like basically like using the stage and doing all this role play stuff, those exercises. But you never know what you're going to learn from something.
Right.
And it totally helped my stand-up act, like a Saturday night. I'll just tell you this funny story about acting class of what a dummy I am. But, you know, I'm only a dummy because I've never took acting, so I don't know proper things. But, you know, how to open this is more of like theater acting. So it's like opening yourself up to the audience. You don't want to do anything that they can't see behind your back. You don't want to turn your back to the audience.
You want to upstage yourself.
Yeah. So we did this exercise where I got to go in the hallway with the teacher. So the rest of the students staying there, and he sets up a scene that I got to act out. in front of them, and then when they realize where I'm at, they have to come and do another thing that would be in that scene.
I gotcha. Okay.
So we go in the hallway, and he's like, "You're gonna be at a laundromat doing laundry."
Okay.
So I'm like, "All right." So you have to basically paint the picture, like basically a
Like
mime.
you're miming it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I come in like I'm holding a, sack of laundry. I open the door, I go in, and then I throw the laundry on a table. But instead of having the washing machine and dryer in front of me, I kept it like in reality where it was behind me.
Yeah. But
So I'm start putting it, and he's like, "No, make sure you open to the audience." So instead of thinking, "Oh, let me just change it to being in front of me," I still kept it behind me, and I'm throwing laundry over my shoulder into the washing machine. And then I'm pulling it out of the washing machine over my shoulder and then like folding it. It was just so dumb. He's like, "Yeah, you could have just changed it like right in front." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, but like where that came into play, it was pretty funny like in the moment because I was just
right.
But where it came into play, like Saturday, and I actually consciously thought of acting class while on stage. So we're doing that fundraiser Saturday, and I'm doing the joke where I'm waking up my grandpa, who I think is dead,
Right.
and I'm poking him. And I used to always turn my back to like poke him like he's behind me.
Right.
But like I just stayed on stage and just poked in front of me.
Right.
Like this is where he's at. Like
Did it get a?
it's so much better
Right.
because I'm not turning my back to the audience doing something that they can't see.
Right.
But I'm like, holy shit. This is, you know what I mean? Like, this little nugget I got
That you didn't realize
from
what you
fucking
were
up in
gonna
the
get, right.
act that has nothing to do with stand up. I'm just taking this acting class just for fun.
Right.
And I got this great little nugget that helped me in my Saturday night show.
Right. That's awesome.
All from me fucking up in acting class. So if like I did it properly, I probably still would have been cognizant of it. It was the fact that I fucked up.
You
that he
wouldn't have got
pointed
the lesson.
I wouldn't have got the lesson. Exactly. I would have still been turning my back. But man, I wish there was video of me throwing laundry, miming throwing laundry over my shoulder into a washing machine. And then when I was pulling out of the dryer, I'm going to the dryer, but I'm looking at the audience. But like,
Did anybody ever figure out where you were?
oh yeah, they all knew exactly where I work as soon as I started folding shirts.
Oh, okay.
But it was funny. It was almost like I refused to look at the dryer. I'm just staring at the audience and pulling out clothes. like what
A creepy serial killer
like a fucking
staring at your next victim.
weirdo. It was so funny, man. Yeah, 'cause one guy goes, "Yeah, I saw you come in with a sack, and I thought you were at a laundromat. You plopped on a table. They started throwing it over your shoulders." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I don't know what you were doing. Were you like throwing firewood, or were you about to barbecue?"
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm actually enjoying the acting class.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, it goes back to what we were saying. Like you just do things to do, and you never know. You can get a little something from it.
Right.
And that's that.
That's that.
And that's that. But yeah, you should watch Billions. I think you'd like Billions.
It was a show I want to start.
It kicks in around episode 6.
Right.
Like where it's like really like, oh shit.
Right.
And then it rides out and finishes really good. And I hear season 2 is really good, but it's so weird. Like Dan Soder's in it, and he starts getting like a bigger role, like the second half.
You out of the show.
It's right because you've met him.
Yeah.
It's so tough to like to take because you're like Paul Giamatti and like all. Then this New York comedian comes in playing this. I don't know, but he's really good. He's like a really good actor. Like he's not. I've seen comedians on screen where you're like, oh yeah, you got to be like he's like legit. Like he was going back and forth with fucking the main dude, Damian Anderson.
Oh yeah.
I think that's his name, Damian Anderson, the redhead fucking actor that was in Homeland.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, that's another good series.
Okay.
But for the first like 3 or 4 years,
I watched the dude that plays one of the roles, and I'm up here. I'm dying up here. The redhead dude, Andrew Santino.
Okay.
Ever see his comedy?
I can't say I have.
He has a Showtime special out. Now he's It's funny, man. I met him somewhere, man. I just can't remember where. But he's funny. He's like, I feel bad. He goes, I give homeless people money when I come. He's from Chicago, but lives in L.A. He's like, I give them when I come to Chicago because I know being homeless in Chicago, it's like they die. Like, it's cold, you're homeless, you die, and then it's hot, you're homeless, you die. Like in L.A., I don't give them money.
Right.
He's like, because they have it fine. He's like, but I don't know if I want to stop. I want to stop giving money, and don't get mad at me because I want to tell like all the homeless guys in Chicago, like, why don't you start walking south, man? He's like, you can air fist fight dragons anywhere in this great country. I could not stop laughing at that line. You can air fist fight dragons anywhere in this great country.
Did I tell you that? Did I tell on the podcast that story of me with the homeless man a few weeks ago outside of my acting class?
No.
I'm walking up the street to my car, and this homeless guy, this black guy, comes up to me. He's like, "You got $1?" So I don't know. I give homeless people money. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I pull out $1, but $2 drops on the ground.
Yeah,
and he picks the $2 up for me. So I'm like, "Oh, here's $3." I'm like, I can't be like, give me that $2 back for this $1. Like the guy like picked up my money.
Yeah, it's just like, looks like you just got $3.
Like the guy like just won the lottery.
Yeah.
like I was like the best slot machine. Like, got $1? Yeah, here's $1. Actually, here's $3. Yeah.
I'll give.
If it was a 20,
money.
I'd be like, give me that back. I'll give you $1.
I give homeless guys money like in Jersey out this way because they're so frequent. I mean, like infrequent. Like it's like,
yeah.
So you come out of the diner once in a blue moon, there's a homeless dude walking up to you.
Right.
In New York, I can't take out a fucking loan at the corner to get you guys all hooked up on this block. I'm sorry. I can't give every single person $1, then I can't get hummus. What the fuck is up with that? You know what I mean? Like, I can't give all my money up before I get to my food.
Yeah, I guess I just in the moment I go with whatever I'm feeling.
But if I walk from my car to the Comedy Village, to the Greenwich Village, that 2-block radius, I will get hit at least 3 times for money. I'm not giving to every one of them.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me as much as the 22-year-old kids selling M&Ms for their camp or whatever. You're like, what?
Yeah. It's a hustle too. Yeah, they're not getting none of my money unless I'm craving chocolate at the time.
Yeah. Yo, you want like they come up like all aggressive. Yo, you want to support my camp? You're like, what? Dude, you gotta.
When did the Crips and Bloods start a camp? Get away from me.
I had it one time. Like my neighborhood's a really nice neighborhood. There's like nothing happens here.
Right.
And one time these like grown kid, like old teenagers, like, yo man, you want to come? Yo, you want to come support my school? And I'm like, what? It was, and I thought they were casing my house, and I saw them hop in a van. After I said no, I'm like, what the fuck, man?
No, they do. What happens is like. The leader of it's not, some of them are real, but most of them are like not legit. And the adult, the parent, or like the adult would like grab 4 of their kids and bring them to a nice neighborhood.
Right.
Yo, go sell this candy, say it's supporting your school.
Yeah.
You know? And the parents make them do it.
That was very bizarre. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Kids are going to come back and rob me. They're like, he's a little one. We could take him. We'll go back in an hour.
It's not Home Alone, bro. They're not coming back.
No, I'm just kidding. kidding. Anyways, good podcast.
Right. It was good.
Good podcast. I don't think either one of us have any plugs this week.
Nope.
I can start plugging my end of July show. A month from now, people.
Yeah, I'm not.
Make your reservations. I'll be at the Comedy Works, Bristol, Pennsylvania, the last weekend of July. I may pick up something in between then. You never know. Some quick little one-nighters, but I'm guaranteed to be headlining at the Comedy Works in Bristol, PA, July 28th and 29th. My friend Mike D'Alto will be coming out to MC the show for me, so it should be a good night.
Fuck Mike. Oh, no, I don't even know.
No, he's a good dude.
I don't know. I'm Sunday, I'm at Greenwich Village.
Okay.
It's a 9:45 show, I think. Yeah, so.
Nice. So, yeah, people, share the podcast, man. We need people to listen. If you have a friend that listens to podcasts, recommend our podcast. If not, tell people about podcasts. Educate the people out there. So we could always use more listeners. We appreciate all your listens, all your downloads. Go to joefernandez.net for all my dates. Go to, what are you laughing at, Mike?
We appreciate all your listens.
Is that not the proper way to say it?
Oh, no. I don't think it is, but I don't, I always am wrong at that. But
well, no, you say it how you would say it.
We appreciate all your listens.
Say it how you would say it. Redo the sentence.
We appreciate all your downloads. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, but you have to listen to it.
I don't think there's a way to say it, people. We appreciate you listening, but I don't think it's a way to say, hey, guys, everybody in this room, we appreciate all your listens.
No, you wouldn't say it to a room.
Well, you're basically saying it to the world right now. Whoever listens, we appreciate all your listens. I don't think it is the way to say it.
Yeah, probably not, but I don't know. If anybody knows if that's right or wrong, tweet at us or send us a message on Facebook and let us know if appreciating all your listens is the proper way to say it.
Hey, it might be what regards to like a podcast. Hey man, we really appreciate all your listens, but I know it doesn't make sense. I mean,
it makes sense. It maybe doesn't sound right, but I don't know. I bet James would know. Our listener James would know. He's very smart.
Yeah, he's very smart.
He looks smart.
Yeah, he's got a cute kid. He's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, so James. Ask the kid, because these two adults on this podcast don't know shit. So, go to joefernandez.net for all my future dates. I have a lot coming up in the fall, and MikeGaffneyLive.com for all of Mike's dates. And you've been listening to All in Our Heads.